In the beginning, the book of Genesis opens with a majestic account of creation. God, the sole deity, creates the world in 6 days. Each day brings forth new wonders, from light and darkness to the teeming life in the seas and skies. Finally, God creates humanity in his own image. This act distinguishes humans as special creations endowed with a unique capacity for relationship with God. On the 7th day, God rests, establishing the sanctity of the Sabbath. This rhythm of work and rest underscores the importance of balance in life. The Garden of Eden, a paradise of abundance, becomes the first home for Adam and Eve, the first humans. God grants them freedom and dominion over creation. However, this idyllic existence is shattered when Adam and Eve succumb to temptation. They disobey God's command, eating from the forbidden tree of the knowledge of good and evil. This act of disobedience, known as the fall, has profound consequences. It introduces sin into the world, fracturing the harmony of creation and the relationship between humanity and God. The consequences of sin are immediately apparent. Adam and Eve experience shame and fear. They are banished from the Garden of Eden, a poignant symbol of their separation from God. Their sin also casts a long shadow over their descendants. Cain and Abel, the sons of Adam and Eve, offer a stark illustration of the destructive power of sin. Cain, driven by jealousy, murders his brother Abel. This first act of human violence marks a tragic turning point in human history. Despite the presence of sin, God does not abandon humanity. He shows mercy to Adam and Eve, providing them with clothing and a promise of redemption. This promise foreshadows God's enduring love and his plan to restore humanity to a right relationship with him. The story of creation and the fall lays the foundation for understanding the ongoing struggle between good and evil in the world and the hope of salvation. As generations pass, sin spreads like a plague throughout humanity. The world becomes steeped in wickedness and violence, a far cry from the paradise of Eden. God, grieved by the pervasiveness of evil, decides to cleanse the earth with a catastrophic flood. However, amidst the corruption, one man finds favor in God's eyes: Noah. Noah, a righteous man, is chosen by God to build an ark, a massive vessel designed to withstand the impending deluge. He is instructed to bring his family and 2 of every living creature aboard the ark, ensuring the continuation of life after the flood. The story of Noah's Ark is a powerful parable about God's judgment on sin and his enduring mercy. The flood represents a divine reset, a cleansing of the earth from the corruption that had taken root. After 40 days and nights, the rain stops and the floodwaters begin to recede. The ark eventually comes to rest on the mountains of Ararat, symbolizing a new beginning for humanity. God establishes a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth with a flood. This covenant, marked by the rainbow, signifies God's enduring faithfulness and his desire for a harmonious relationship with humanity. The story of the flood serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of sin. It also underscores God's justice and his unwavering commitment to preserving life. The rainbow, a symbol of hope, reminds us of God's promise and the opportunity for a fresh start. The story of Genesis then shifts its focus to a new era, marked by the emergence of the patriarchs Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These men and their families play a pivotal role in God's plan for humanity. Their stories are characterized by faith, obedience, and the gradual unfolding of God's covenant promises. Abraham, originally named Abram, receives a divine call to leave his homeland and journey to a new land that God promises to give to him and his descendants. This call demands immense faith, as Abraham must leave behind everything familiar and embark on an uncertain journey. God makes a covenant with Abraham, promising to make him a great nation, to bless him, and to make his name great. Abraham's faith is put to the test numerous times, but he remains steadfast in his belief and obedience to God. The covenant is passed down to Isaac, Abraham's son, and then to Jacob, Isaac's son. Jacob, later renamed Israel, has 12 sons who become the progenitors of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's life is marked by both blessings and trials. He wrestles with God and emerges from the encounter with a new name and a deeper understanding of God's faithfulness. The stories of the patriarchs highlight several key themes. They emphasize the importance of faith and obedience to God. They showcase God's faithfulness in fulfilling his promises, and they trace the lineage through which God's chosen people, the Israelites, will emerge. The final chapters of Genesis focus on the story of Joseph, one of Jacob's 12 sons. Joseph's journey is a tapestry of betrayal, resilience, forgiveness, and, ultimately, reconciliation. Sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, Joseph rises to a position of power in Egypt, becoming the Pharaoh's right-hand man. Despite enduring years of hardship and injustice, Joseph remains faithful to God. His ability to interpret dreams and his wise governance during a time of famine saved Egypt from starvation. This act of providence also paves the way for a dramatic reunion with his brothers, who had come to Egypt seeking food. Joseph's story is a testament to the power of forgiveness and the overarching providence of God. Despite the evil intended by his brothers, God works through their actions to bring about a greater good. Joseph's forgiveness of his brothers heals the rift in their family and sets the stage for the eventual settlement of the Israelites in Egypt. The book of Genesis concludes with the Israelites finding refuge and prosperity in Egypt under Joseph's protection. This relocation, although initially appearing positive, sets the stage for a new era of challenge and redemption that will unfold in the subsequent books of the Bible. The overarching themes of creation, sin, covenant, and God's faithfulness continue to resonate throughout the biblical narrative, offering timeless lessons about humanity's relationship with God and the unfolding of his divine plan.